Okay, am I live now? Okay, this is really strange. It told me I was live. It said I was live, and then I wasn't. And I've been talking for like 8 minutes now and seeing folks make comments, and I'm like, what is going on with this? So I apparently it never went live, even though it told me it was. Is it live now? Can y'all give me a quick comment to confirm that it is? Because it's saying that it is now again. So hopefully it's actually working this time. Let me see what my phone says in that regard. All right. Are we live? I cannot tell. Oh, somebody came on. You are live. Okay. So I wasn't before, I guess, even though it said, I don't know, something wild was going on here. All right. Well, I guess I need to go back through comments from the very beginning and kind of address all of those. So apologize about that. Not sure exactly what happened, but sometimes with technology, these things do happen. Juan Garcia joined in, and hope he's still here, but he was here before. Said, good afternoon, Bob. Happy holidays to you and your family. Happy holidays. Merry Christmas to you, Juan, as well. Juan is a channel member. I appreciate that. DEM says, Merry Christmas, everyone, and Rewards Master, thanks for everything you do. Thank you, Dem. I was seeing the little comments that you were making about is 3:30, and I was confused. I'm like, what? I mean, we're live, because it told me we were live. So I don't know what the deal was. So thank you. Probably without your little comments, I wouldn't have realized what was going on. I would just talk to myself and my computer screen for an hour, which would have been terrible. So thank you for the super chat. Very, very much. Appreciate it. Vincent, also a channel member, says, I've been a member for 1 month. Good to have you here, Vincent. And then he dropped a $1.99 super sticker super chat as well. Thank you very much. DM was asking about the time. And James Nugent says, woohoo, good to have you here, James. Hope you're still here. James 5802, channel member, says, what's up? And Maldonado, that's a good little repeat there, says, hello, Rewards Master. Hello to you, Maldonado. Good to have you with us. Sultan says, you are live. Good. Everybody hopefully can hear me now. Dem says, good to go. Says, you are just now live. Wow. See, it was telling me for 8 minutes I was, and I wasn't. So that's pretty wild. James says, driving to the restaurant. Lots of Resi reservations. Yeah. All right, cool. Brewer Fam says, yes. Good to have you here, Brewer Fam. Matt Clausen's on board. Howdy, y'all. And trying to get caught up. I wouldn't have this many if I hadn't had that little mistake. I already read through all these to myself and the computer screen. Rewards Master is here to grant our points and miles wishes. No stinkers. Happy holidays. All right. Stinky Monkey. Good to have you with us. Matt Clausen, I'm settling up for a Mesa retrospective on what I know so far. Well, I hope so, because that was the wildest thing ever to happen in points and miles. So James says, hi. Good to have you here, James. All right. So a couple things. First of all, before I get to just the main event, which is all we're going to have today. Just got back from the Conrad Fort Lauderdale. Isn't that a cool hat? I thought it looked really, really classy. So Nona and I went on one of our little crazy trips. There'll be some stuff on her channel over at Away Again Travels in a few days after she edits it up. Takes her a little longer than me because she's new to it. But we stayed at the Conrad for a night. Then we went over to an FHR, the Lowe's Coral Gables, awesome hotel, and just had a great little, just a couple night getaway. We do that 2 or 3 times a year. So that was really fun. And now we're home, getting ready for family to all come in for the holidays. But today I wanted us to have kind of, I don't know, what I think will be a fun episode where we just kind of go through and talk about things that are appropriate to the holidays. So this is my Christmas wish list. I know Matt's been doing this like individually with different issuers. This is a much simpler process because I'm going to go through a bunch of them. So here's what's going to happen. And I hope that you'll all participate with me and we can kind of do it jointly together. So I'm going to go through all of the major credit card issuers first. So we'll do Amex first, then Chase, then Citi, then Capital One, then Bill, then Wells Fargo. And then I'm going to go through the 3 big airlines, American, United, and Delta. And then I'm going to go through the 4 big hotel chains: Hilton, Marriott, Hyatt, and IHG. On each one of them, I'm going to pretend like my kids, when I still had kids at home, who were looking forward 6 months in advance to Christmas, because my kids would start asking for Christmas presents in like June. And I mean, they would hound us and hound us and hound us and tell us all the way through. And we knew that if they did that, that was something they really wanted. So they would ask me for that Christmas gift. Well, if you had been able to ask each of these issuers and each of these airline companies and hotel companies for one gift, maybe even one that just applies to you, but one gift for Christmas, what would it have been? So that's what we're going to go through. So the first one we're going to do is American Express. So think about it. And after we get to my slide, I'll tell you what mine is. And then I hope to read what your wish would be. What the one thing, if you could get a gift from American Express, what it would be. And then after that, we'll do Chase and then Citi and so forth and so on. So let's do the first one. American Express. I would ask American Express one thing for Christmas. All I want for Christmas from Amex is to bail me out. Or at least tell me what the charges are. You know, if you get arrested, they're supposed to tell you what they're charging you with, but I have no idea. Amex has thrown me in jail and thrown away the key, and I have no idea why. And so my basic wish would be, I want out of jail. I want to be able to get the cards I want when I want, not worry about it. Now, I'm still okay on business card side, but on the personal side, or at least if you're not going to let me out of jail, doesn't a guy deserve at least to know what he's charged with? Because maybe it's because I don't spend enough on their cards, but I probably put, I don't know, $6,000-8,000 on their cards in the last little bit. That seems pretty good. Maybe it's because you're canceling cards, but I probably haven't canceled a card in well over a year with Amex. I have no idea. I mean, read me the charges at the least, but please, my wish is get me out of jail. I want to be bailed out. That would be my wish. So what's some of y'all's wishes? Well, let me see, first of all, how many we have in here. All right, let's see. It's not telling me just yet. Yep, 27 are watching, it looks like. That's great. See how many have hit the like button. 8 likes. That's pretty good. So hit the like and subscribe button. Anytime you do that or send super chats, super stickers, anything like that, it certainly helps the algorithm, helps more people to see what we're doing today. All right, so let me go back up here and see where we ended off. All right. Matt Clausen said, yeah, maybe not my best move, but I'm almost done. U.S. Bank tomorrow is my last. Okay. Yeah, I've enjoyed this series. So you always have like a different level of information, and I appreciate that a lot, man. All right, let's see. James Nugent. James says, yeah, I wish Amex was cool. His wish is that Amex was cool. That makes that, yeah, kind of like what I wished in high school. I wish I was cool, you know. I guess I was fairly cool. They took away my blue card long ago. All right. Yeah, they I don't know why they do what they do sometimes. Companies, Matt Clausen says, companies are people until they aren't. Okay. And then Maldonado Yak says, an explanation is the minimum anyone can expect, right? I mean, yeah, that only seems fair. I mean, what kind of third world nightmare situation are we in that they put you in jail and don't even read you the charges? That's just ridiculous. Sleepy Rod says, my Amex wish is to get another 175K sub. Yeah, well, that's a pretty good wish. But I guess my wish would come first, just to be able to get cards. And then, then I could maybe have an add-on wish for some pretty good subs in that process. All right. Dem says, Amex, more worldwide acceptance and no more redemption nerfs. Yeah, the redemption nerfs has been a pain lately. It's been kind of somewhat obscure, what is it, Cathay and stuff like that. But still, yeah, it's scary, especially if it's pointing towards things to come. So yeah, it's true. And then, yeah, worldwide acceptance. They are not accepted everywhere. That's for sure. Matt Clausen, I sort of passed on Amex wishes. Bring back the everyday. I still have the old everyday card, but I don't use it much. But Still have it because it's one of my older card accounts. Gentleman Explorer comes through with a $9.99 super chat. Happy holidays to everyone. Well, happy holidays. Merry Christmas to you, Gentleman Explorer. And thank you so much for that support to the channel. I appreciate it so much. Maldonado Jax or Yaks, one of the two, became a YouTube member. Thank you so much for joining the channel. I hope you get a great blessing from it. And Mike Newland, great friend of the channel. Mike comes through with 5 Rewards Master memberships. So if you receive one of those from Mike, make sure to thank him in the comments. I know he'll appreciate that. And I appreciate it very much, Mike. That puts me, let's see, I had 72 channel members this morning. That'll put me to 78. That's just amazing. Honestly, I never dreamed I'd have 78 people as channel members. I mean, I was kind of excited. My first 5 I got back, 5 or 6 months ago. So this is just amazing. So thank you. And a lot of it's because some of y'all, like you, Mike, gift those memberships, and I appreciate it very much. All right, let's see. James says Dallas Cowboys lost today. Side note. All right. America's team, right? Mike Newland says, I gifted myself too. Funny. Okay. You gifted yourself. Okay, cool. Well, you're a channel member. Great. Good afternoon, everyone. Manuel Jimenez says that. So good afternoon to you. All right. Anybody else have any American Express wishes? What's your American Express wishes? Try to get them in here. Brewer Fam says, thank you for the membership. That came from Mike, of course, but we're glad to have you guys on board for sure. All right. The next one on the list, if nobody else has any requests, nobody has more wishes for American Express. The next one on the list is Chase. And this one was kind of hard for me to narrow down. I had a whole lot of wishes. Whole lot of things I thought Chase could have gave me as a nice gift. But when I boiled it down, this is the one I wanted the most. Chase, stop. Just stop. I mean, goodness gracious. Chase, I was watching the Frequent Milers the other day when they're talking about what is their Bonvoy Awards, and they were talking about the worst things. And I think Greg is the one that had Chase at the top. And I mean, Chase had like 4 entries. It was crazy. They have so many nerfs this year, so many bad negative things for customers. And it's like, if they, if my Ink Cash card still didn't get 5X on some of those categories, and that's basically what it's coming down to for me. That's like the only card that matters to me now, because the rest of them just don't. I mean, it's just, they've messed up the program so bad. So my wish would be, Chase, stop. Just be Chase. Just be what people loved. Stop trying to be something else. Stop trying to be someone you're not. Just stop. That would be my wish. Okay. Going back to comments. Maldonado says, Amex to have a 2X card for all expenses. I'm assuming you're meaning a non-business 2% card, because, of course, they have the Blue Business Plus, Blue Business Cash up to $50,000. So, yeah, I mean, just a personal card that's 2X would be great with Amex. It would be really great with Chase too, by the way. James says, that would be really nice. Yep, it sure would. James says, Chase more Nerfs than the Nerf toys. Yeah. They maybe they were bought secretly by the Nerf company. Maybe that makes sense. I don't know. Maldonado or a 1.5 LOL. Yeah, that'd be better than nothing for sure. Brewer Fam says, Chase, be less like Amex. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Chase, be yourself. It's like when you're talking to a teenager, and I know because I raised several of them, and you're trying to tell them, hey, just be you. Don't try to follow the crowd. Don't try to be like the popular girl or whatever. Just be you. You're beautiful just the way you are. And that's what I want to say to Chase. Hey, Chase, you're beautiful just the way you were. You didn't need to copy somebody else, because it's not authentic at all. It is not authentic at all. Matt says, have a feeling 26 will be better for Chase. Yeah, maybe they'll learn their lesson. Maybe they'll come into their own. Who knows? Hopefully so. It can't be much worse, can it, Matt? Not much worse. Juan says, Chase Wish, add grocery and gas category multipliers. Yeah. And that was on my list, but I just had to, my first choice had to be just stop. We had to stop the bleeding, you know? I mean, because it's just, if they keep up at this pace, man, it's not going to be anything good about Chase left. They're going to, I mean, the next terrible thing would be change. I don't know. How bad can it get from here? I mean, change the redemption rate to Hyatt, make it worse. I don't know. That would be awful. Mike Newland, Reward Master, changes is inevitable, whether the changes they make are good or bad, as in the eyes of the beholder. That's true. That's true. I mean, I agree. Changes are inevitable. And I'm not one of these 2025 was the worst year ever kind of guys, because I think City's changes were pretty amazing this year. I mean, they were good. There were some others. Capital One added some transfer partners. I mean, I don't think every single change and every single issuer got worse. Some of them got better. So you're right. All right. Matt says, sure could be a lot worse for Chase. Don't tempt them with a good time. Yeah. No kidding. No kidding. That's right. All right. So the next one is City. This one I had to think about a little bit because I'm pretty pleased with City right now. So I thought, well, what on earth could City give me that I don't have? And this is what I had. Add Aeroplan. Can you imagine how broken, how good the City ecosystem would be if they had Aeroplan? They would have it all. I mean, that's the one thing that disappoints me sometimes, is that I want to make transfers because Aeroplan is a great program. And I want to make transfers over there and they don't have them. And it's strange because they have like all the other ones that everybody else that has Aeroplan has. So I always found that to be really, really weird, but it's just a fact. So I find that interesting. So that would be my wish for City. Anybody have any other wishes for City? As you're typing that in, I'm going to go and see. We got 33 watching. We've had 16 hit the like button. So if you haven't done that yet, please hit the like button. Please subscribe. Anytime you do that, or do super chats, super stickers, any of those kind of things, gift memberships, any of that helps the algorithm, helps us to get more people watching. I think last week we had one of the largest live streams I've ever had. I think we had about 62 last week. So we're about, I don't know, 60% there. We got about 38 or so. All right. Let's see. Dim says, a City, Aeroplan for sure, and perhaps even Hyatt. Also, I think the Elite card could have been a stronger card. Yeah. I mean, but I guess I don't get too down on the Elite card because I think it's just better than people are giving it credit for, because the 1.5x on everything and, you know, the 6x on City Nights I think is pretty good. So I don't get down on it. But yeah, could it have been more like the Prestige card? It could have been. But my biggest gift would be Aeroplan. I didn't say Hyatt because I just don't know that it's realistic. I mean, I'd love it, but I don't think they can land Hyatt. But I think they probably could negotiate and get Aeroplan. Aeroplan is, I mean, they have a lot of partners out there, right? I mean, Aeroplan will go where the money is, but Hyatt seems to be more exclusive. So maybe that's the case. But yep, it'd be good. Yeah, coming from an Elite card holder. Yeah, I'm one too. So, or at least we are. So I think that's true as well. Maldonado says, City declined my application twice in December. Maybe opening 12 cards in 2025 is too risky for them, since can go through minimum spend in 30 days or less. Yeah, City's inquiry sensitive. I mean, they are, and new card sensitive. So if it doesn't affect me because I'm deep in the City ecosystem, but for people who aren't, I could see that their wish list for City at the top of it would be approve me. Yeah, approve me. I get it. Sultan says, I know you love City, but they need to make their Elite card a keeper. I have it, but we'll downgrade it next year. Yeah, I think it's borderline a keeper, even for myself. I'm not sure that it's a keeper because it's, you know, it's a break-even card for sure, but is it worth it for the City Nights and for the, you know, the 1.5x on everything? Well, not if you have a double cash. If they didn't have the double cash, it'd be a keeper because it'd be a great everywhere card. But yeah, I see what you mean, Sultan. Vincent says, revamp the Amex Business Green so I get the bonus through applying rather than get shut out if I product change. Yeah. Well, the Business Green is awful. I mean, we're back on Amex now, but Business Green is just like the worst card ever. I have one too, so I know. But yeah, if they revamp that, that'd be a good deal. Matt Clausen says to Dem, Hyatt just re-upped with Chase. Not likely they'll be adding another bank. That's kind of what I figured too. They're kind of a one partner deal. They do have Bilt, but Bilt's kind of quirky and different, right? Stinky Monkey says, completely agree on Airplane being the best and most realistic new transfer partner for Citi. Yeah, I think they could actually make that happen. I think that's a realistic ask for sure. Sleepy Rod, I want Citi cards to not lock you out overseas. If you call them beforehand or do it online, we haven't had it happen. But I'm pretty paranoid about making sure I either call them or go online and tell them where we're going to be traveling to. And then it seems to work, or at least it did on our last 2 or 3 trips. So maybe that'll be helpful to you. Matt says, as for Citi, get you a rat squad. Okay. Get you a rat squad. And then Juan Garcia, Citi Wish, beef up the Chase Citi Strata Elite with stronger multipliers for travel, add primary CDW and primary travel insurance. Yeah, those things would definitely make it more of a keeper card than it is. I agree. KRS 1905, better transfer rates for a core. They have the lowest in the industry. Also more transfer bonuses. Yeah, they don't do a lot. They don't do as many transfer bonuses as competitors. That's true. Matt says you got AA to a transfer partner. That's why the Strata Elite is the way it is. There was probably a Prestige clone if they didn't finally land the plane after 38 years. So you're saying that the card would be better if they didn't have AA. Maybe so. Maybe so. Sultan, I agree. The Elite card is kind of mid. I can keep the Amex Plat for free and I get lounge access. Elite has limited AA lounges, which are pretty mid in my experience. AA lounges are all over the map, by the way. I mean, I went into 45 of them this year, I think, and they're all over the map. I've had some that were really disappointing, and I had the best meal I've ever had besides in the Al Safwa first class lounge in Doha. Besides that meal, I had the best meal I ever had in an American lounge in Phoenix, Arizona. I mean, it was these shrimp fajita things, and they were incredible. So that was awesome. But then I've had some real fails where I didn't even eat the food. So yeah, they're all over the map. Cutter says, if you were just started in Citi, what card would you start with? I would start with the Strata Premier card probably, so I could have transfer partners, and it usually has pretty good bonus. So that'd be the one for me. Okay, Vincent Pascal. Vincent says, with the change to the Ritz-Carlton unlimited lounge guests happening, I want the CSR to give out at least one free authorized user. Air Canada Maple Leaf Lounge access is one of the reasons I'm holding the CSR. Okay, I've never been in a Maple Leaf Lounge, so I assume they're good, but I've heard they are, but I've never been in one, so be good to know. KRS says, now that they have AA as a transfer partner, it'd be nice if they added another One World partner like Alaska or JAL. I don't think they're going to get Alaska. Can you imagine how broken that would be? Now, JAL, that one may be realistic, but Alaska, can you imagine how broken it would be if you could transfer to either American or Alaska? That would be crazy. And then KRS makes Citi one of the best One World credit partners. It would for sure. All right, the next one we have is Capital One. What would your one wish be for Capital One? Well, mine would be allow primary card holders one guest. I'm not even asking for them to go back to the way it was. I'm not even asking for them to go back to where me as an authorized user, because it's known as card. So as an authorized user, I used to get full guests and everything and access on my own. I'm not even asking for that. I'm just asking for Nona, when I'm flying with her, to be able to get me into the Capital One Lounge. That's all I'm asking without having to pay a fee. I don't think that's a big ask. I think that's a stocking stuffer, not a big old present under the tree. But I don't think they're going to do it. But that's what I would ask for. That's what I'd like to know, to have from Capital One. Everything else about Capital One is fine for me. All right, let's see. Tulare, good to have you here, Tulare, channel member. Says, hello, Bob, and everyone here. Sorry I'm late, and Merry Christmas to you and your family. Tulare, Merry Christmas to you. I hope it's a great, great time with family and friends and just celebrating. This is a great time of year. Juan says, Capital One wish list. Stop pulling from all 3 credit agencies on new accounts. I know. It's awful. All 3. It's like, and approve some people, stop being so bigoted and prejudiced against people that have good credit scores and pay off their cards every month. And they're probably not. They're probably more prejudiced against card churners, to be honest, but still, yeah, it'd be a good wish. Capital One, please better transfer rates to partners. Yeah. Better transfer partners. I think they need better, like a good domestic partner. That'd be nice. Charvicio, channel member, great to have you here. Better limits and the Saver X. Yeah, Saver X, that might be coming. I think Matt was just doing some stuff on the Saver X, just saw him talk about it. Maldonado says the way it was allowed open door for abuse. New changes make sense for me since as a paying customer, don't like to wait in line because someone brought 15 guests. Yeah, that's true. That's why, honestly, I don't mind that they made the changes, but they can't allow one guest with the primary card holder. To me, that seems reasonable and fair. For all of them, it seems reasonable and fair. One guest. So I don't know. But I get what you're saying because sometimes that line was insane in DFW. It was pretty bad. Vincent says, Capital One wish list. Make JAL and EVA a 1-to-1 partner instead of 2 to 1.5. Yep. That would be a good wish right there because some of Capital One's transfer rates are goofy. Some of them are goofy. Sultan says, Capital One, approve more people. Yeah, no kidding. Stop having prejudice against certain kind of applications. That's right. Aldondo says, I like the limited access to keep it cool and accessible. Yeah, it makes sense. Like I said, for some people, that was really a good change. Just not for us, but hey, I mean, I get why they did it. Okay, next one on our list is Built. What would your wish be for Built if you could ask for one thing? Now, as you're preparing to type out what your wish would be for Built, looks like we got 46 people watching. That's pretty awesome. 17 have hit the like button. So that's not quite half. So if y'all haven't hit the like button, please do that. Also, if you give a super chat, super sticker, anything like that, channel membership gifts, those help the algorithm as well. So thank you for all of that in advance. All right. So for Built, this is my wish. When they release these new cards, have a 2X catch-all. But I realize that one might not happen. So at least a 1.5X catch-all. If Built comes out with a 1.5 or a 2X card in any of those, it will become my catch-all. Well, it will become my catch-all credit card for things I don't like, find other ways to get like 5X and stuff like that on. So it will be kind of the baseline catch-all in my setup because I really like earning Alaska points. So that would be my wish for Built. What are your wishes for Built? Okay, Vincent says, for all of the programs, make it easy to cash out at 1 cent per point without needing particular cards. The way that Chase already does. Yeah, Chase is good about that. City was perfect about it, but now they've changed it where you got to have, but most people who have a City setup do have one of those cards. So City and Chase were the best. Chase is just etched above City now about that. Chavicio, Built needs to allow for us to hold more than one of their new cards, a catch-all, no annual fee, and a premium. Yeah, I mean, one card, I know which one I'll choose, but yeah, it seems like they're hurting themselves by that. I don't know why they make that decision. Dim says, Built, remain solvent. Okay, yeah, don't go the way of Mesa, right? And stick around for the long term. Looking forward to Built 2.0. I'm kind of excited to see it too. Mike says, what do we know about cardless with reward cards? Not much, I don't think. They've dipped their toe into this world, but there's not a lot there. Matt will probably know more than I do, and Matt, if you're still here, put something in the comments. But I think this is the biggest. What they've done is small potatoes before. They're jumping into the deep end on this deal. So let's see how well they do. New again, good to have you here. New again says, hey all, Capital One is just meh. I think Capital One is tied with Wells Fargo at 4th place, not far behind Citi at 3rd. Okay. Juan says Built 2.0 wish list. Don't pull a Mesa. Right. Stay like it was said. Stay solvent. Stay in business. Sultan Built subs. Okay. Yeah. Offer some subs on your cards. Unbelievable that they haven't ever had that. KRS says I want nothing to do with Built anymore. I'm tired of their stuff. Yeah. I mean, I get it. Stinky Monkey agrees. Servicio Built needs to stay away from subs. Subs only attract churners who will cause the program to be nerfed. Okay, that's a good perspective. And then Stinky Monkey says it's either all uphill and immediate crash. All uphill and immediate crash. And Matt says Cardless has a few rewards cards, but it's not great. So I knew he would have. That's kind of what I thought about it too. They have some, but nothing at all on this level. So this is definitely they're up in their game. They're jumping into the deep end for sure. All right, the next one, Wells Fargo. I have one wish list. So put on here what your wish is for Wells Fargo. But for me, Wells Fargo, approve me. I really want the Attune card, and I have applied for it 3 times. 3 times. And the last one, I was right there on my Wells Fargo app to apply, and it showed me my credit score right there on the main screen, and it was well over 800, and I apply and denied. Then the letter says basically this: you have opened too many cards in the last 24 months. So, and I've opened a few, yeah, but some of them have been business cards, probably not more than 6 or 7 personal cards at the most, but it's too much for them. So I say to Wells Fargo, just approve me, man. That's what I want from you for Christmas. It would be great. All right. What's your Wells Fargo wish? New again says you'll have to go totally all in or be a big spender on Built cards to get value from the program. Majority will not be pleased with the new program. Okay, we'll see. It's a prediction, New again, and we'll see how it comes out. I think there's a possibility you're not wrong. Jay Brothman, channel member, says, if you had to liquidate your Built points, where would you send them, Hyatt or Atmos? Atmos. All day long, Atmos. I always choose airfare on business and first class over hotels. I'm always going to get a better cent per point value every single time. I'll just pay for a hotel. It's fine for me. I usually do anyway. So, New again, depends on how much you fly in response. But for me, Hyatt, I need hotel points. I'm good on airlines. Okay. I think a lot of people would have that viewpoint because Hyatt does give good value. Although I would argue not as good unless you're just flying domestic. But if you're using them for international, first in business, I think that there's no question who will have the higher cent per point, the higher overall value. Wells Fargo, KRS says groceries and food card. Yeah, they don't have that. That'd be a good wish. Juan Garcia, grocery category to the autograph and beef up transfer partners. Yeah, they definitely need more of them. No doubt. Servicio, add more flight partners. Slow pace is good and makes the ecosystem very sustainable. Okay. Yeah, their slow pace it does kind of keep things steady. There's no doubt about that. But, just maybe approve some people who could get into your ecosystem. That'd be kind of cool. Matt says Built will be solvent for sure. The cardless infrastructure is not meant for Built. At least they are hard resetting. Not bringing the back book is the first smart move Built made. So they're leaving that with Wells Fargo. They're not trying to put all this debt on them, or I guess you might say business on them right away that they have to manage. So I guess they'll build it from there. Maybe that'll help. Vincent says, Wells Fargo, add transfer partners like Aeroplan and United Mileage Plus. Yeah, add something. I mean, they just don't have very many. Sleepy Rod says, JAL is way better than Atmos. Atmos has not been as exciting as it once was. Okay. Yeah. I mean, not as, depends. I think it depends on which direction from the United States you're flying. I still find a lot of great Atmos stuff to Europe, a lot. But if you talked about Japan Airlines, if you're going east, then going west from the US to the east, then yeah, I think you could very well be right. Sleepy Rod, Wells could add JAL. They would jump to the front of the line above Chase, Amex, and Capital One. Yep, JAL would be a good get, especially at 1-to-1. Really good get. Okay, the next one. Now we're going into airlines. First one I'm going to do is American, then I'm going to do United, then I'm going to do Delta. What is the one wish you'd want from each of those airline programs? So, drum roll, when it comes to American Airlines, who I fly all the time, I would like them to allow me to earn loyalty points on award flights. Okay. I know this can be done because both Delta and United allow you to do that. They allow their status people to earn something towards their loyalty on their award flights. And Alaska does it too. Alaska does it even on partners. So it can be done. But American doesn't allow that. Oh, by the way, American, did anybody see today? I bet Matt did, but did anybody see today that American just said no more loyalty points at all on or miles, I think, on basic economy? I have a family member that texted me on that. No more of this. So that they were freaking out about it, but I've never bought a basic economy fare, so I didn't pay too close of attention. But still, this is what I would wish for. LPs earning loyalty points on award flights. So what would you want from American Airlines? Well, let me see how many we got in. We got 50 watching. That's great. 23, almost half of you have hit the like button. Please hit the like button. Please subscribe. If you leave a super chat, super sticker, that helps as well as gifting channel memberships. So thank you in advance. Matt Clausen says, wish I could speak more on Wells Fargo, but I've heard real good things. Okay. I know you like them. We'll see how it goes. Built, if you want to get into Built 2.0 for mortgage points for a new mortgage refi, then it requires a new account opening, which might give you problems applying for a new loan. Yeah, depending on how far along you are in your credit, probably. Sleepy Rod, Matt Clausen, can you deny that Wells Fargo is adding JAL? I can momentarily deny JAL. Okay. Wow, we're having some little interesting info. Sounds like insider information. Kind of cool. Okay. Rio says, did you hear AA basic economy no longer gets miles or loyalty points? Yeah, we just talked about that. Like I said, doesn't really affect me. I don't ever book basic, but still, I know for some people that'll be disappointing. Stinky Monkey says JAL is way more niche and not enough to get a mass shift of interest from Chase Amex cardholders. I think that's probably true, but I'd be excited about it. And I think a lot of people in this community would be. But, I think they're not terribly excited to win over all the churners and all the maximizers. So that's probably true. Jay Brothman, channel member, says no points of any kind for AA basic economy was the news. Yep. And Matt says no miles and LPs on basic economy is a Bush League move, but won't affect most. Yeah. I mean, I think that's already true on Delta. Isn't that right? I think it's already true on Delta. So Brewer Fan says, be share. I don't know exactly what he's trying to say, but hit the like button and also subscribe. That'd be great. On the high annual fee cards, I would like the option. This is from Greg B. I would like the option of adding authorized users with no annual fee, of course, with no club access, etc. Okay. And Vincent says, United, I wish they'd reverse their United Club membership change where you can't get into Star Alliance partner lounges on just the membership. Yeah, that one stinks. You're right. That one stinks. And Denise says, or Dennis, I'm so undecided, Built or Amex points from Rakuten. Yep, that's a tough decision. And New Again says, wish list. Wells Fargo Beyond is the new U.S. bar. I'd be all Wells Fargo if that wasn't the case. All right. So we've had a few. So if you have any more American Airlines, put them on there. Now we go to United. And this is what I say. My wish for United is release some partner award space. It is really hard to find partner award space through their partners on United Metal. Really hard. Now it's going to be true with Delta too, but still, it's really hard. It used to not be hard at all, but it's really hard now. So that would be my wish for United. Let me see how many we got. We got 51 watching, 26 have hit the like button. That's great. Appreciate that, as well as anybody who has given super stickers or super chats. That helps the algorithm as well. Let's see. Dennis said undecided. We already did that one. New Again, wish list. We did that one as well. Let's see, where are we at? Oh, here we are. Be able to pool points with family. Yeah, that Brewer family said that. Be able to pool points would be great for a lot of these programs. That's a good wish. United, James said. And I'm working on Million Miler, a Million Miler. Looks like I'm stuck unless a book in main cabin. Okay. Yeah, it's, if you're Million Miler, I guess that makes sense because you're still going to get the miles. So that would be a niche use case for trying to book out some cheap AA tickets. So I guess that makes perfect sense. Thank you, Rio. All right, so that's my United wish. Next is Delta. And on Delta, this is my wish. It's a simple wish. Please reevaluate your prices on both cash and awards. You are expensive, and you are too expensive. I mean, I know you're proud that you got a little better product than your competitors, but I don't know that it's that good of a better product. I don't know that the same flight on American that's 10,500 points should be 38,000 points. I don't know if you're that much better, but wow. And on the cash prices, I see a Delta flight that'll run $650 that on American runs $398. I mean, that's a big difference. That's a big difference. Now, United's usually closer, at least on the cash price to American. But Delta needs to reevaluate their prices. But why would they? Because people keep paying them. People keep paying them. Maybe corporations or businesses are the ones paying, but still, I mean, clearly people are not, it's not holding them back. So that'd be my get wish list. Stacy, good to have you back. Stacy's travel points says saying hi while I cook dinner. I mean, that seems to be your pattern on Sunday afternoons. Watch the Rewards Master live and cook your dinner. So that's good to have you back doing that again. All right. Stinky Monkey says, I want Atmos to not require me to pay for checked bags if I book an Alaska Hawaiian flight through a One World partner. Should honor free checked bags for all Summit holders regardless. Yeah, I mean, I didn't even realize that was the case, but yeah, you'd think that they would do that. Vincent says Delta's pricing is why I've flown them once since the pandemic. Yeah, they're just expensive. They're expensive. I mean, and they just seem to get more and more and more. And I'm like, I like their product. If they were just a little bit more than the others, I might do that. But it's not a little bit; it's a lot more. Dem says better cents per point redemptions would be nice for Delta. Yeah, yeah, better. How about just a reasonable? That would work. Dem says they're working on their international destinations, which is nice to see. Yeah, they're doing a little better in economy, but their business class is still rough. It's rough. Their premium economy has some better sweet spots, though. I've noticed. I've actually got one of those booked. New Again says Delta already said they're going to further segment the cabin and get more expensive. Delta and Emirates are yuck. Bad for the industry. Yeah, I mean, get more expensive? I guess people just pay. I mean, Are there some Delta folks in here? Are you just going to pay it no matter what? I mean, what is there a top limit? How much more expensive do they have to be than United and American to where you finally say, I'm not going to fly Delta anymore? How much more? I mean, 100% more, 200% more. I mean, where would it be? I don't know, because I meet a lot of very, very loyal Delta flyers, and I'm not insulting that. I just flew Delta this last weekend. It was a great experience. They have a great product. The flight attendants were great. The seat was fine. They had seat back entertainment here in the US. It was fine. But I'm just wondering, at what point is it not worth it anymore? Because it seems like they just keep raising them higher and higher and higher. All right, Sultan says, I don't get the Delta premium thing. You don't think they're that much better, is what you're saying. And I don't think they're that much, but I did think, it seems like you get just a little more consistent flight attendants, and you do have seat back on all of them and all that. So Vincent, I wish Atmos would change award cancellation fees. United doesn't charge when you cancel. You talk about that $12.50 booking fee that you just lose. That's not fun. KRS, United, Lufthansa, Miles and More, 22,000 miles from New York City to Honolulu in economy. Plenty of availability. Yeah, I mean, that's a lot of availability. I think when I was talking about availability, I'm talking business class availability, because that's basically what I'm looking for. So that's what I would like to see them open up. Polaris primarily. Matt Clausen, got a drop. Thanks as always. Thanks, Matt. Thanks for being here. Stinky Monkey says, American doesn't charge cancellation fees on award bookings. Come in handy when you find a better redemption. Yep. That's why I'll often have many of them booked and then cancel them as I go. Dim says, wife is Diamond Medallion since all of her work travel is through Delta. So I guess we have some loyalty there. Personally, I go to where I get the best value, although the Delta experience is superior. That's exactly my agreement. TJ Rosenbaum, good to have you, TJ. It's hard when you live in a Delta hub and they usually have more flights at better times. That's true. That's true. Dim, among domestic travel partners, that's the clarification. And Sultan says Atmos refunds booking fees if you have the Summit card. That's true. That's one of the features of the Summit card. It's very nice. And Jay Brothman says no drop fee on Atmos when you have the Summit card. Same point. All right, we got 56 watching, 28 likes. Please, if you want to, please hit the like button if you haven't done so. All right, now we get to the 4 hotel programs, and that'll wrap us up. So be thinking about the hotels and what you would want from Christmas from each of them. The first one we're looking at is Hilton. Here it is. Stop the devaluations. It's to the point where I don't even care about my Hilton points. I don't even care, because they're worthless. I mean, it seems that way. You got to have bazillion of them to get a decent stay. So it's like, why even care? I'll just use my credits. I'll use my, my free night certs, all that, because it's just crazy. So that's what I say to Hilton. That's what I want for Christmas. Stop the devaluations. Have some consistency to your program as far as you have fantastic credit cards. You have, some of the greatest perks. You have the best free night certificate. Why are your points worth just dog water? They're awful. They're awful. And why is that? So I think you could fix that. All right. So let's see if anybody has any comments on Hilton, what they wish for. Let's see where we left off. Said Rosenbaum said it's hard when you live in a Delta club. And then we talked about some of the Summit cards. Burfam said totally agree. And then New again said, but you would have to pay with Summit card to get the waiver. So not a great perk. Makes sense. Juan Garcia, Hilton wish list. Do not dilute Hilton Honors loyalty program, and don't nerf the Aspire card. Yeah. Hopefully they don't do that, because it is awesome the way it is. KRS Hilton, you can have your Hilton Amex business card back. I'm done. Okay. Not a good experience, I take it, KRS. Dem says, I can't remember the last time I used my points for a hotel redemption. Yeah, I don't do it a lot either, but it'd be nice to be able to, since I have some. Mad Matt, good to have you here, Mad Matt. Says, I hope they bring back the free night certificate on Surpass offer. Will pair well with my Aspire free night certs. Yep, that would be good. Chad's Money Minutes. Hey, Chad. He's a channel member and also has a great channel of his own. Check it out. He says, yo, good to have you here, Chad. Good to have you here. All right, so that's my wish for Hilton. Now we move on to Marriott. Here's my wish for Marriott. Force your properties to follow the rules. I mean, can you imagine any other program doing what Marriott does? I mean, can you imagine any world where, the rules only apply to some and not to others? I mean, that's just like total, complete chaos. But yeah, well, you get your free breakfast at a St. Regis, but you don't get free breakfast at a Ritz if you're platinum. Why? They're all Marriotts. That's ridiculous. Yes, but they side with the property owner. Well, you know what? If they want to be in the Marriott program, you can tell them that they have to follow certain rules because other companies do that. I mean, there's McDonald's are all franchisees. And you know what? They all have French fries. All of them serve Big Macs. All of them. I mean, you can't force your properties to follow the same rules. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. So, I mean, that would be my wish list for them. 56 watching, 33 have hit the like button. Okay, where did we leave off? Sultan said, Hilton business card worthless now that you can't buy gift cards. Yeah, I mean, what are you going to do with this? That's kind of true on the Amex Platinum business. You got that $200 in Hilton credits there too. Brad is here and says the meta with Hilton is with the free night certificate and multiple Aspires card now. Yeah, that's true. Not the points for sure. Vincent says Marriott uncap the free night certificate, 15K add-on limit, and follow Hilton's uncapped free night certificate lead. That'd be great. But sure would be nice to have your status work everywhere. That's my wish list. Juan Garcia, Marriott wish list. Make the Bonvoy program clear and consistent versus forcing you to interpret matrix where you'll get free breakfast or not. I think we're saying the same thing, Juan, is that make all the properties follow the same rules. Make them all follow the rules. It's stupid the way that it's done. New again says add Marriott to go bankrupt and get bought out by Choice or even IHG to the wish list. Yeah, it'd be more consistent. That's true. New again, it'd be more consistent. Vincent says I use my business platinum Hilton credit on dinner at a nearby Hilton property. I'm going to try that. I found a way to use it this last quarter, but this next quarter, I'm going to try that at our local Hiltons, see if it works. Did you just charge it in the restaurant or did you like open up a folio and all that? I'd be curious to know. CJ Batista, good to see you, CJ. Says, yo, currently in a Priority Pass lounge in Guadalajara, Mexico. Good. Boarding in 15 minutes. Had to do a same day flight change since my original flight kept getting delayed. Didn't know AA Platinum Pro status would be clutch. Yeah, I've done it before. Glad it's working out for you. Vincent says, just charge my business platinum at the restaurant. Cool. I'm going to try that, Vincent. Thanks for that data point because I'm having trouble figuring out how I'm going to use it. So I'm going to try it. All right. That was Marriott. The next one's Hyatt, and then IHG will wrap us up, and that'll be about our hour's time. Hyatt. Provide a decent credit card. That's what I want. I would like a decent credit card. The problem is that what I would really like, they're never going to do. I would like a card that provides Globalist. And I know some of y'all are going to say, if they give Globalist, you can buy it through a card, it'll make Globalist not worth anything. How about they make a card that's got a $1,500 annual fee and you get Globalist, but you got to go through hoops to get your credits back? I'm fine with that. I would do that. But I'm not going to stay 60 nights or whatever to get to Globalist, so I ain't never going to have it. But I would try it on a card, even with a really high annual fee. They ain't going to do that. So I'm just saying my wish would be make a decent credit card. one that's got decent earnings, one that's got decent, benefits to it, some kind of status that's reasonable. I mean, I just, their statuses really don't matter until you hit globalists. That's the problem. So that's kind of my take on it. 39 watching. We've dropped down a little bit. 35 have hit the like button. All right. He says, CJ says, yes, Hilton credits can be used at the Hilton restaurant or bar. Okay. Now, does it have to be a high-end Hilton, or would it work like if you have like a DoubleTree or something that has a restaurant? I don't know. I'm going to have to try that out because we don't have any high-end restaurants, high-end Hiltons in my immediate area, but we have 5 or 6 of their lower level brands, New again, I can't stand Marriott. They're far more insulting and aggravating and nickel dime grifters than Spirit and the like. I don't mess with Marriott. That's pretty, I get it. I get it. Juan says, high wish list, larger footprint, at least on their higher end properties. Yep, they do not have a very big footprint. And Vincent says, I use my Hilton credit at a DoubleTree. Cool. I'm going to try that out. It's going to be a good data point. M. Wheeler says, Dear Santa, all I want for Christmas is MGM iconic card in my stocking. That'd be pretty good. You get a lot of status matches with that. New again says, I would do 60 nights with Hyatt if they had a larger footprint and weren't as overpriced as they currently are. Makes sense. And TJ says, you can use the Hilton credit at the restaurants. I have a Surpass card and I have a great meal there every quarter. Okay. I will try that out. See if it works out. All right. That leads me to the very last one. Oh, by the way, Sultan said Marriott rhymes with chariot. Chariot, Marriott. I don't know. All right. Here we go. The last one, IHG, and I didn't have a lot here, but this is one that annoys me. So we have the IHG card that gives the $25 every 6 months in United Travel Bank credit, but it expires in 6 months or whatever. It's ridiculous. So my one little wish for IHG, expand the expiration of the travel bank credit. I mean, make it last for 5 years or whatever, like it does normally, or maybe even if it lasted a couple years or something, but expand that because that is just absurd the way that works. So that's my IHG. All right. So if you've got any more, throw them in now because I'm about to wrap it up. We're at 57 minutes and I want everybody to have their holiday and time with family and everything. So I'm going to wrap it up, but I want to get any last ones that anybody wants to share as far as their wish lists go. So throw them in and I'll try to get to them. We've got 39 watching, 36 have hit the like button. This is your opportunity. If you'd like to either hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't. If you want to give a super chat, super sticker, this is your opportunity to do that. I appreciate it very much. And I appreciate every one of you. Let's see what other comments we get. Stinky Monkey says, I prefer to add more hotels. Some very nice properties on that program. Yep. I didn't include them because they're not a major program, but yeah, that would be, if they add more, they will be a winner for sure. New again says Marriott rhymes with grift a lot. Okay. Yeah. Brewer Fam says, Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas to you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being a channel member. Mad Matt says, wish our entire credit card community has the best year ever in 2026. I hope so too. I hope so too. We have a lot of blessings to be thankful for sure. Even with the things we don't like, still got a lot, still have the greatest hobby ever. So Juan Garcia, IHG wish list, more expansion on intercontinental properties domestically. That'd be true. Okay. Maldonado says, Merry Christmas to everyone and happy birthday to Baby J. All right. Merry Christmas to you, Maldonado. Good to have you here. Thank you for being a channel member. Brad says, join the live late. I wanted to get your thoughts on City Gold. Do you have it? Worth it? I just transferred $200,000 investment to City to save $145 on Stride Elite. I do not have it. I guess I could look into that in the future, and I've thought about it. It's just not something I've gotten around to, so I can't really speak to it. I think some of the folks in the chat today have, though. So if they want to, I won't say who they are because I don't know if they want anybody to know. But I know they've talked about it before, so if they want to answer Brad, they can real quick in the chats. New again says Juan Garcia, better yet, allow all 6 senses to be booked with points. Lovely brand, maybe the best. I haven't stayed at one of those. Sounds great though. Dem, Merry Christmas to everybody. Dem, Merry Christmas to you. And so let me go back through who is some super chats, super stickers, gifted memberships, and all of that in this live session. So I always like to thank them as we wrap up. Mike Newland, who always is a great friend of the channel, he gifted 5 Rewards Master memberships. Adnando, who's been here all throughout this live, became a YouTube member, became a member of the channel. We appreciate that very much. Gentleman Explorer dropped $9.99. Greatly appreciative of that generosity. And then, let's see who else was on here. Vincent gave $1.99. Thank you very much, Vincent, who has also been a channel member for a whole month. And Dem, always here, great friend of the channel, dropped $9.99 and wished everybody a Merry Christmas. So with all of that, I must say, I appreciate you all very much. Thank you for being here. Thank you for supporting the channel. And I hope you all have a fantastic holiday and a very, very Merry Christmas. So have a great, great holiday with your family.